Hear the stories of men and women switching hustles and escaping the odds through entrepreneurship after prison. Not only will these stories inspire you, but also unlock business tips for financial freedom.
I'm Andre Norman, the founder of Academy of Hope. The goal of Academy of Hope is to diminish violence inside the prisons. Every day we go inside and we meet with the men, we engage with the men, we help them understand that they have a greater goal other than just fighting and being incarcerated. There's a large percentage of the criminal justice system that are violent offenders. And there's very little conversation, if any, about how do we fix that. Our unit's been open for 8 months now. We have some of the most dangerous or violent people in the state of South Carolina in one unit. We haven't had one fight. We haven't had one fight, one assault on staff or each other. Same prison, same food, same showers, same blankets, same everything, except for we speak to them like humans. Everybody has potential, but it's not the potential that's stopping their growth, it's the pain. Our goal, our plan, and our mission is to heal the pain, then give their potential a chance to take over. Because if you keep speaking to somebody's potential or what you're seeing, you're speaking to the wrong end of it. Prison is where people end up. It's not where they started. We go back to where they started, the pain. And we sit with them in their pain, in their embarrassment, in their weak moments. We help them get strong. That's what AOH is.
Thank you all for tuning in to another dope episode of Escaping the Odds. I am your host, Aaron Smith, where we interview the formerly incarcerated who are now successful entrepreneurs. I got a good brother on here with me today, Mr. Andre Norman, doing extraordinary things within the community, actually within the country, internationally. Like, the man is really doing his thing, and we're really going to get into his backstory and just kind of find out how did he get to where he's at right now. So I want to introduce Mr. Andre Norman. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing wonderful, brother. I appreciate you having me.
No, absolutely, man. I've been following you for a minute and just really seeing your journey, man, inspiring, man, especially for a cat like me who has spent some time incarcerated as well. And I just wanted to really just get your story, man, and kind of get behind the business of what you're doing, and even some of the nonprofit or philanthropic things that you're doing as well, just to kind of let the audience know who you are.
I mean, we can get to grew up in the hood, went through the drama with mom and dad, went through the bad public school system, got to middle school, was broke, got outside of hustling to buy the stuff I needed to be accepted, got to high school, I was already 3 years off track, quit football, quit track, quit band, quit this, quit that. And you quit all the positives, it only leaves you negatives. So I'm in the street full time now. And that takes you, penitentiary to the graveyard.
Yeah.
So I ended up in court, 7 to 10, 2 9 to 10s, 2 10s, 2 15 to 20s, and a 5. Put me in the van, they dropped me off at the penitentiary. I'm 18, I'm in the penitentiary. And I spent the first 6 years living the penitentiary life,
right?
Thinking that I'm winning and I'm doing my thing. Then 6 years in, I realized I'm the king of nowhere. That nobody cares about no place I'm at, nothing what I'm doing. It means nothing in the real world. So
right.
I changed my direction. It was like, I'm out of here. And I said, I'm going to go home, go to Harvard, be successful.
Yeah.
The next 8 years, taught myself to read, taught myself to law, went to anger management, went to social proof, went to self-help groups, went to college. Flipped my case. I'm in the books. You see Commonwealth versus Norman. I came out of there after 14, and for the last 21 years, I just been on a grind to help people.
Wow. Okay, let's go back a little bit, man. That first 6 years before you had that shift in mindset, what was that? What was that whole experience like with you being in jail? Because I know you had a significant position behind the wall. So how did all that play out in there?
That played out, man. When you first come in, you get in on a team. You saying, what part of town you from the east side, south side, west side, and from this block, that block. You get in with your people. And I got in with my people. And I'm seeing the prison commerce. I'm seeing the hustle. I'm seeing how stats and status works. And I want to participate. I want to be big like everybody else.
Right.
And I'm a rookie trying to be an all-star. And that was my goal. And I did what you needed to do to get that status of all-star. And 9 state transfers. I got kicked out of Massachusetts after 9 months. They sent me to the feds on the federal transfer, Lewisburg, Terre Haute, Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
All the little wonderful bus
wow.
rides and trains and you seeing stuff from out in Oklahoma. But it was just a quest to know it. It was like I was felt like Dorothy on A Wizard of Oz. I'm running down a yellow brick road trying to see the wizard. And when I finally got to the wizard, I pulled the curtain back and it was all fake.
Whoa. And so how did that play on your psyche?
I mean, it was like I gave up my mom's, I gave up my family, I gave up my freedom, I gave up any aspirations I had to be the wizard. I wanted to be the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And when I got there, it was like Toto and Dorothy. She found out it was all fake. You know what I'm saying? It was just all this big world that we created in our minds to justify our not succeeding in the regular world.
Yeah. And so I want to go back with, you said, I didn't realize that you had went to federal prison as well on a transfer. Yeah. And I know you named some prisons that in the 90s, well, even still to this
80s.
day, 80s. Yeah, so even worse, right? The Lewisburgs, Atlanta USPs, and
Terre Haute.
And Terre Haute, yeah. Right.
In the 80s, Terre Haute was like a stop. But the thing is, I can tell you 1,001 prison stories.
Right.
I've had riots on airplanes, federal airlifts. I've been charged and convicted of stuff behind the wall. Mm-hmm. All that is nothing. I'm saying that was part of the nothingness.
Exactly.
And so I can tell you a bunch of stuff that really doesn't do anything but tells you how far down that road I went.
Exactly.
I'm saying most people don't make it to the wizard. See, a lot of people lived in Oz, never made it to the wizard. They just lived in Oz. Dorothy kept going until she got to the wizard. There was tons and tons of people in Oz that was just completely content where they were in Oz. And they accepted that their wizard was up on the hill.
Right.
I was Dorothy. I went up the hill.
Right.
I needed to see the wizard. Yeah. And I got to see him and I saw for what it was. It wasn't real.
Yeah. And so you really didn't have any flack, outside of people just not really believing in what you wanted to do while you were incarcerated, but was there any kind of support system? Like maybe sometimes, I know in my own experience, there may be somebody inside the institution. Like, okay, all right, they're going to kind of give you a little leeway to be able to do some of the things that you're doing because they see the change that's happening in your life. Did you have anything like that?
For me, the place I was in my system at the time, I didn't have a lot of opposition to anything I wanted to do.
Okay.
Because of who I got to be in that little road work or the Wizard of Oz thing. So
right.
if you get a guy who just got off the bus, he can't make a decision like that. I'm 6 years in, 9 state transfers, all the rest of the stuff I've accumulated means something in this little wonderful fantasy world. Right. So like I said, I want to do something different. People are happy. Dre gonna put down his knives. You're gonna stop being a lunatic. He gonna get out of our way. So it was a good moment for the rest of the population that I didn't want to be a psychopath no more.
Right.
I'm saying nobody believed that I could do it, but they didn't care. They were like, he over there occupied. He didn't went crazy. That was the word. Dre didn't snap. He over there reading the book.
Yeah. So now go ahead, Dre.
No, nobody wanted to poke the bear. So the bear wants to stop chasing people and go read a book. Who won't bother the bear?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Nobody want any smoke at all.
It just was like, what's the upside of getting me to put down my book?
Yeah. Now, initially, you started off with a 11-year sentence. Is that correct?
I had a 7 to 10. I should have did 12 months. I should have done 12 months. I got convicted. I should have got convicted and sentenced, went to prison.
Yeah.
I filed my appeal. I won my appeal. I'd have went home in 12 months.
Right.
But instead, I went to trial. I took off on trial. In the middle of trial, I took off. I caught like 8 new felonies.
Hold on. What do you mean you took off?
I was on bail. If you ain't got bail money, you ain't a hustler. If you ain't got either no bail, if you got no bail, I understand. But if they got a bail on you, you should be in the street. So I had a bail. I'm in the street. I'm going to court. Halfway through my trial, I saw it didn't look good. So I was like, I'm out of here. So I took off. They kept the trial going and they found me guilty. But while I'm on the run, I pick up like 5, 6 new felonies. Yeah. So they catch me. They sentence me on the first one. I go to trial on the next set. That's why I get the 2 10s, the 2 15 and 20s, and the 5. Subsequently, when I taught myself the law, I reversed that first case on appeal. Okay. Meaning, had I sat myself still, took the bid the first day, I'd have went to prison, filed my appeal, and won in 12 months and went home.
Right.
But instead, I got scared or whatever, and I ran. And when I flipped my case, it didn't matter because I got all these new cases sitting on top.
Yeah, right. And then also, if I'm not correct, you caught some more cases while you were incarcerated too, right?
I caught 2 cases. I got convicted twice inside. I caught a bunch of them, but they convicted me twice.
Okay, and then of course that added a whole lot of more time. So how much did you say?
10 more years and 2.5 in solitary for the last time I caught cases.
Okay, wow, man. All right, so that change moment. All right, now you got 8 years left to finish out your bit. What were some of those things that you decided that you were going to do, like to kind of prepare you?
First, I had to tell myself the truth. Who is Andre? Andre's black. He's uneducated. He's from the hood. His parents ain't that educated. He ain't got no financial support. He's angry. He's violent. You know what I'm saying? I just said, who is Andre? Yeah. And the number one thing I came up with that was really why am I here? Who am I? My number one thing was Andre's a quitter. I'd have never guessed that was my real crux of why I was in jail. I just said I was poor. I just said I didn't have my number one reason for being in prison was Andre was a quitter.
Wow.
And when I fixed that, see, we say we're in jail because we're poor, because the system's rigged. You can fix the system. You can fix poor. You can fix whatever. But if I don't fix the quitter part, I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and quit some more, just in a nicer car and a nicer house.
Yeah.
So I finally identified the thing that actually put me in prison, that put me on path. My father taught me as a young man, when he walked out on us, it's okay to quit. And from that day, first grade on, I quit on anything I didn't want to do. It was too hard.
Man, you know that, man, you said a mouthful right there, man. That really resonated with me because that was my issue as well. And when you quit, you know, you're looking for the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? And so like that immediate gratification, which we all kind of struggle with. And it's always something easy that you can always lean back on hustling. You know what I'm saying? More so than starting a business or working a 9 to 5 because it comes easy to you, right? It's right there. Well, at least for some people. And so that was my issue as well. Okay, so now one thing you said you were going to do was go to Harvard.
Yes, sir.
And so how are you preparing yourself, of course, outside of learning how to read? Because prior to this, like you were like, what, totally illiterate or just like?
I was functional illiterate.
Okay.
I can read a newspaper. I can read a sports magazine, but I wasn't reading any books.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sitting down reading books and studying, and my comprehension was horrible. I could read, but the comprehension behind the reading was null and void. Yeah.
So did you find like your self-esteem had kind of increased as well because you were on this new path inside of that kind of environment? I know people looked at you differently now because you were a leader before, and we'll get into this too, like the parallels of leadership in the streets and also what you can do in the boardroom as well. But did people look at you and want to follow in your footsteps as they did when you were doing the negativity?
Initially, people just thought I went off. You know, people inside they snap. I didn't see people snap, and it was whatever they were, and then they just walk around doing the curls and shuffle, and you kind of ignore them. So initially, dudes are like, man, Dre went crazy. Right. He's walking around talking about going to college. He's walking around. He's talking about going home. This dude got 100 years. He's talking about going home. He's crazy. Dre, that guy that always want to wild out. Dre, that guy that want to take it to a murder versus an assault. Dre, that guy that's always an extremist.
Yeah.
So the extremist is talking about something extreme again, but in a totally different direction. So people didn't really give me a hard time. They just kind of like, whatever, do you. Right. Michael Jordan went and played baseball. They were like, okay, do you. We don't see it working out, but imagine if he would have became an all-star in baseball. Yeah. Imagine if he would have became a Hall of Famer in baseball. But he said, I'm going to play baseball. The whole world said, all right, Mike, do you. Yeah. You still Mike. We're going to send the cameras, but we don't have a whole bunch of hope in that. Yeah. And he did.
Hey, you said 100 years. Man, I can't even fathom that.
100. Right. But you add it all up, 7 to 10, 2 9 to 10s, 2 10s, 2 15 to 20s, and 5 and 2 10s. Yeah, that's 105 years.
Wow, man. So how did you even wrap your mind around that? It's like
you don't. You just do the time.
Yeah, you just do the time, right?
Whatever they gave you. You get in with your team, and it's like the day-to-day politics. Right. Nobody's talking about going home. Nobody's talking about working on their case. Nobody's talking about, man, elevating to another level. We talk about making money, who's going to be on whose ball team, What sports coming on this weekend? Who can knock a fat chick to send us some money?
Right.
That's it.
Wow. You ain't lying, man.
Nobody going home.
Yeah.
Plug me in one of our girls. I'm saying so we get that line going, and who can we flip on the staff? That's the whole mindset of at least the people I was with. How do we come up on the money side? Right.
And so so now you're out 8 years. You got your GED, and you like mentally like you put together. What were some of your first steps that you wanted to accomplish?
I started working with young men in juvenile detention. My first day out, I went to a juvenile home and I started talking to kids. I was about 90 minutes. I did my first talk, and I do trauma-informed care. I don't do scared straight. I mean, I was in jail because I was a quitter. Quitting isn't violence. That's based on trauma. The trauma of my father leaving created that thing in me around quitting. So you can't basketball that out of somebody. You have to help them understand their deficiency, their pain, and fix their pain. So people aren't broken; they just have broken parts.
Right. And so when did you kind of establish like the whole business side of what you were doing? But
I worked with a gentleman in Boston. He ran a nonprofit, and he hired me. And he just hired me because I had a name and I could do this outreach thing. Yeah. When I first got there, I spent my time doing outreach. So they sent me out to the hood. I talked to the gangs. I talked to the kids. Everybody knew me. It was easy. But during my breaks, I would sit with the secretary and she taught me how to answer phones. Then I sat with the accountant and he taught me accounts payable, accounts billable, invoicing, taxable income. Then I sat with the director and he taught me about hiring and training and interviewing. Then I sat with the grant writer.
That's what it was at.
I did $25 million over the next 4 years.
Wow.
Because they would write these grants around helping us or people like us, but they weren't us. So the nuances weren't there. The deep insights that made perfect sense. It sounded good on paper, but it wasn't real. When I got with the grant writer, her writing and my understanding experience, we produced some stuff that was off the chains.
Wow. And so how does that whole grant writing process work where a person can actually make a living from like running?
So the money all went to the nonprofit.
Right.
And so it covered my salary, it covered everybody's salary and the rest of that. But some people just charge a percentage. If I came to your agency, say me and her came to your agency, we wrote you a grant for $500,000, you would pay us a percentage of that grant. So we didn't charge percentages, but if we did, we probably made like $6-7 million off raising 25.
Right. So what I'm hearing though too is like you had a team coming out, like people that kind of groomed you, just like how you were groomed in the streets.
No. I had people to try to use me. They didn't want no grooming. They saw Andre was a golden goose.
Right.
And they threw me on their team. Yeah. And my partner / boss saw me as a golden goose. No respect, no love. It was all usury.
Right.
But in that, he got what he wanted. I got lessons and I learned the game.
Exactly.
I didn't even realize I was being used. I thought I was be given an opportunity.
Yeah.
But looking back, I was being used for his benefit relative to Andre can generate money. Andre can generate revenue. Andre can generate this. And he didn't really care about me. He cared about what I could do for him, which is at the end of the day, I ain't mad. But when people come home from the penitentiary and they want to grab you this agency and throw you on their staff, what value are you to them? So LeBron gets paid $30 million. What did the buses get paid?
Right.
So you're an asset until you're no more. Until you're Allen Iverson and you ain't got that quick step, then they cut you.
I had someone tell me that similar thing. Where don't let anyone pimp your story out because they will
all day
long. And it's like that really struck with me because we can come out and we can start doing the work, whatever that work may be, like going back in, speaking to the youth, whatever, just reform work, whatever it is.
The business side, we want to help people.
Yeah,
we don't want the business side. My first lesson, my boss took me to a place in Harvard. They had an after-school program, and it was one of the top programs in the country. And the kids stopped coming. The program fell off. They did everything in the world to get it back on. And they brought me out to talk to me. So I went to the thing, and they told me all the information, everything else. And I said, well, what did the kids say? No. We brought in this specialist from Sweden. Well, what did the kids say? Okay. We brought in this guy from Chicago. And I said, no. Who talked to the kids? Light bulb went off. We need to talk to the kids to find out why they're not coming, and then we can get them back in. As soon as they got it, they shuffled me out the door. Thanks very much. It was over. We get outside. My boss said to me, he said, Drake, give me 200,000. I give you 200,000. Dude, you know I'm fresh out the penitentiary. He said, man, you didn't give me $200,000 worth of information. For some food you didn't even like. And I from that day forward, I understood the value of information. To me, I'm being helpful. To me, it was beneficial to the kids. To them, they say they already spent a couple $100,000 spending all these specialists and couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So they brought me in. I fixed it in 10 minutes for free.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Andre. Like, how did that all of those experiences there, right, being used in this new game, how did that help you as far as with your own leadership when you had your own team? Because I know you have a team now. So how did that help you not do the same thing as someone else? Not assuming that you got that kind of character, but just you learn from it.
My thing is to say, we come up on the team concept of a family concept. Everybody eats, everybody's protected. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. I came home. I mean, when you get out of penitentiary, oh, you made it, you was a king, you was a boss, whatever. I always told people I was never the boss of my team. I never claimed that. The dude who was boss of our team was doing a natural life sentence. So I could easily, like I seen other lames do, come home and start talking about they were the boss and this, and the other. Nobody can really fact check it because he shipped off from ADX Florence.
Right.
I came home, I said, yo, man, I got 2 OGs that ran our team. I was Secretary of State, but let's call it what it is. And the next thing I did, I went back and we got the #1 dude with that life sentence. We flipped his case. We got him out. See, I don't leave my homies in the penitentiary. I'm not going to send you money to be comfortable and try to sneak you a cell phone. No, I want you out here. Matter of fact, my homie come up by my house in the next hour. He been out for 10 years now. We flipped that life sentence. We got him out. The next homie, we got him out on the life sentence on Life Pro. We got him out. I'm saying I got one homie still locked up in Pollock, USP. We trying to get him out. So all that send you money, books, nah. We sending lawyers.
Yeah.
And I asked you, yo,
I love it.
Where's your people at?
Right.
Oh, he's still doing 100 years. Why ain't you going to get your people? I'm trying to come up with a play right now. I was watching TV a couple weeks ago, a couple months, and they let Big Meech's brother out for the COVID, and they didn't let him out. And he was I was like, yo, man, we'll take Meech into our program like that. I said, listen, I'm trying to reach out to his lawyer and say, listen, we got a certified program that's nationally recognized, and he can come work with us. If that'll help that man, I don't even know the man.
Right.
If I can help him get out the penitentiary, done. I'm thinking about trying to help you, saying, like, I mean, what can we do? Can we build a platform big enough? If we can pay the government, we need that man.
Yeah.
I need him on my team.
Well, it's more beneficial for him to be out here than to be inside.
But you need that person that's going to advocate.
Yeah.
I'm building a platform where I can, back in Massachusetts, we could walk in and pull cats out of prison. Now we're trying to do it nationally. Where we can say, yo, we vouch for you right now. If the attorney general vouches for somebody, they coming home.
Yeah. We
trying to get that status. I need him out here.
Yeah.
I mean, the money's whatever. Status, you don't see, you go online, you're like, dudes don't know me till they know me because I'm not trying to be in nobody's face.
Yeah.
I've been out for 21 years doing the work. And I can give you a list of people we got out the penitentiary. I can give you a list of businesses that we built. I can give you national programs that came out of my front room.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't care about that stuff.
I think nowadays, one thing I noticed, man, when I came home is like with social media, people feel like, okay, if you got this huge following, it's like, or you got the likes, you got the comments, you got all this kind of stuff, right? That's what to kind of go after. You know what I'm saying? And it's and if you're not focused, man, that's one thing that I said I would speak to the guys about this incarcerated, because I know when I was in, that's one of the main things that people want to do. Oh man, I got to get me an IG, I got to get me a Facebook, I got to get on the book and this and that or whatever, right? And so, but one time I was listening to you, one of your interviews, you talked about that, as far as like the whole social media facade, if you will. Like that doesn't make you make a brand. It doesn't make you a genius in business or whatever, right? Because you got 50,000 followers. Can you speak on that?
I'm gonna get one like today. The dude that I've been following since I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
He told me how to stay alive when I got off the bus at the penitentiary. It's coming by my house today. I don't care if 30,000 people I never met in Iowa like me. My man is out.
Yeah.
He got a family. He got a company. We do business. I can see him. We can go to the mall. We can go to get something to eat. I ain't talking about talking to him on some hidden cell phone. He out.
Yeah.
That's the like I got. My other homie is out. I got a dude down in USB Pollock. We want to get out. I need a like from him.
Yeah.
All these new people I don't even know. I don't care if you like me. I ain't here to be like. I'm here. My goal and my job is to get my soldiers out.
There you go.
All this, I want to go to a club and be flashy. Nah, you ain't doing nothing for your homie. Send them some pictures. Send them a lawyer. Help him find their case. Go to his parole hearing. Go to his parole hearing and have enough stature to say, yo, I'm out here doing this, and this I can vouch for my man. I can go to a parole hearing and vouch for my man. Who are you? I run the number one best violence reduction program. I've created this model, this program. I worked in 30 countries. That man needs a chance to come free and stand next to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm building a platform that I can leverage people out of the penitentiary. I don't want to highlight the penitentiary. All that, yo, we hid this here and we can hustle like that. No, create a bridge.
That's powerful. That's powerful, man. Let's talk about the Academy of Hope.
The Academy of Hope came about 2.5 years ago. There was a riot in South Carolina. 7 men got murdered and 30 got wounded. They locked the entire 19,000 prison system down, 24 hours, closed the doors. And from that day to this, nobody's ever been charged or arrested. So you got 7 dead bodies, leaders from different sides, and you got 30 dudes with wounds. And the intelligence from the police said, when you open these doors, they're going back at it. So they kept them locked down. They said, we can't open these doors. They in here with hatchets and phones. They just waiting to get at each other.
Right.
Somebody saw me and they said, Drake, can you come to South Carolina? Took my big homie. He had never gone back to prison. He had never gone back inside of a prison. I said, yo, Dom, I need you to come in here. I lied. I said, I need you to come watch my back, man. He couldn't say no. So I got my man Dom. I got another homie. The 3 of us went to South Carolina. Went into the prison. They're like, this one joint where they had the murders had 2,000 people. We went up, talked to one dude through the door, talked another dude through the door. This is stupid. They brought 9 dudes into the day room. Like, this ain't gonna work. They said, open all the doors up. They said, no, we can't do that. I said, why? They said, man, they're gonna kill each other. They're gonna kill you. We signed waivers. Open the door up. They let 300 men out for the first time since the riot. We had conversations with them. We went dorm to dorm, prison to prison for 6 days, 10 prisons, 8,000 people, not one fight.
Hey, so what was the substance of that conversation that you were having with each of these individuals?
First thing they said is, who are you? I said, we the niggas that got your door open. That's who we are. First door, who are you? We the nigga that got your door open. First, take a shower, call your moms, grab a field, let's build.
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's go get in the shower real quick, man. Wash yourself up. Come on, we gonna build.
Yeah.
They said, well, who are you? I said, I'm here. A, get your doors open. B, keep your doors open. And C, show you how to get out of here.
Yeah.
There's not no prison program to show you how to be comfortable. I'm talking about going home.
Yeah.
I did 14, flipped my case. I'm out. This is my big homie. He had a life sentence, 29, flipped his case. He out. This mother homie flipped his case. We out. We want to show you how to get out of here.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to show you how to build do some woodcraft shit. I'm going to show you how to go home.
Right.
Because that's what we do. And we had real heart to heart. And they were like, yo, nobody came in here talking about, let's go home. Everybody's like, hey, let's do arts and craft. Let's do some basketball. Man, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah. I'm
coming here to show you how to get out. And there wasn't one person who wasn't with that program. And that's what it was. We've been there for 2 years now. And in the 2 years we've been there, no stabbings, no staff assaults, no use of force. We had one fist fight in 2 years. That was it was a COVID fist fight. Dude arguing about hand sanitizer.
Right.
But there was no retaliation. That same fight a year ago would have been a murder.
Right.
People involved. But you treat people like people and they respond like people. You treat people like animals, they respond like animals.
Yeah.
So we ain't better than them. We don't carry vests, we don't wear microphones or radios. We go in and we just talk to them.
Yeah.
We got our own dorm, we run it, and it's based on what we like what we know, what works. I've been back there.
Yeah. One of the last things I want to hit on, man, is delegation. I know that was something I had an issue with. I'm still kind of struggling with that, and I realize it's a trust thing. To learn how to delegate and allow other people to your team to kind of help you do
No,
certain
you ain't
things.
gonna a trust problem. You're hiring the wrong people. You're hiring the wrong people. If Warren Buffett was saying that he's going to take over your finances, you going to micromanage him?
Absolutely not. Right.
You know why? Because you trust that he can do it.
Right.
If Michael Jordan said he's going to run your basketball squad, you got a problem with that? It's done.
Right.
The only problem you have with delegation is the people you're delegating to. They are the people. If you had right now, I don't know how many people on your team. If everybody on your team could be A players, all-stars, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Greek Freak, LeBron, if you had a whole team of all-stars, how many of your problems would go away that you got right now?
I wouldn't have no problems.
So your problem isn't the problem.
Right.
Your problem is the people you got handling your problems.
Right.
I don't know none of them.
Right.
I don't know none of them. But I know for a fact, if you had a team of all-stars, 95% of your problems go out the window. So who are you hiring?
Right.
I'm trying to hire people for $10 an hour because you're going to get $10 an hour work. I was hiring people at 10, 12, 15, 20. I was trying to do the math. I don't hire for hours anymore. I hire for results.
Gotcha.
So it costs me more, but it stresses me less.
And that's worth the cost.
And I can scale up. Yeah. I can't scale with an inferior person on a team. That person's a weakness is a liability. So I'm paying to not have liabilities.
Yeah.
And without liabilities, I can grow and scale.
Give me a top, when you're building a team, give me a top 5 people you would want on your squad.
If you don't have an assistant, then you're the assistant. So you need a crazy admin, someone who can manage your schedule, set up your appointments, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Handle the business, handle the invoicing, handle all that, follow up. So when this is over, you're going to get an email from one of my assistants checking in with you. That I ain't going to worry about none of that. So you have to have a top flight admin. You can call it chief of staff. Yeah. You need someone who handles your digital stuff. So your Zooms, your podcasting, your posts, your social media, someone who just manages that. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to need a copywriter, someone who's going to, I don't write that well. So you need someone that's going to write your ads, write your stories, manage your emails, make you look good on paper in words. You know what I'm saying? Then, of course, a video person who can shoot video and edit video, that whole piece. You know what I'm saying? So a PR person isn't super necessary, but you need, and then again, it depends on what your business is. You know what I'm saying? Now, it depends on what your business is, but you need admin for sure, copywriter for sure. You know what I'm saying? Digital marketer for sure. You know what I'm saying? In the age of what it is now, you need a digital person, someone that can shoot and edit videos. Right. So 4 people are almost mandatory. And I'm trying to hire your cousin.
Right. I can dig that, man. I can dig that. Well, look, man, thank you, brother. It's been a, man, you gave up so much information, man. That's what the podcast is for, man. Not only just an inspiring story, but for people to listen, man, and actually get some gain from it and be able to actually apply it to life and into their situation.
Businesses want to do business with us. Agencies, the states want to do business with us. We solve problems. The question is, what problem do you solve? Who owns that problem? And what does it cost them not to have it fixed? Yeah. So the state prison systems have a problem called violence. I can fix that problem. And because I can fix that problem, I'm saying they're willing to pay me to fix that problem. It's a business transaction. Now, I don't want to treat people with humanity, kindness, and my goal is to get them out of jail. Yeah. They don't care. They just don't want their staff getting stabbed.
How do you price that?
How do you price that?
Well, not exactly. What do you look at to determine, say, okay, this is some novice, you know what I mean, or innovative. How do I put a price tag on that? Well, it's gonna be, worth my time.
Now you're going into negotiations and numbers. So why do you pay James Harden $50 million to play basketball?
Really, James Harden.
The revenue generates what it comes down to. What revenue is this generating? And then what is the pain point? Are you going to get fired, Aaron, if I don't do your podcast? If that's the case, you're going to pay me different. If we ride in the car and Juan's driving, I got a bag of weed, you got a brick of dope. Yeah. His siren go up. I don't care. You won't pay Juan whatever he needs to pay him to keep going. I'm like, pull over. I don't care. I got a bag of weed.
Yeah.
So not stopping is more valuable to you than it is to me. So what is the value proposition for the person that's in the car? You got a brick of dope versus a bag of weed versus a pistol. You know what I'm saying? So when you walk into a scenario, you need to understand negotiations. There's a guy out of California, his name is Chris Voss. He wrote a book called Never Split the Difference. Read it.
Okay.
It's all about negotiations. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I wrote my book, The Ambassador of Hope. It's more about the journey than it is negotiations.
Yeah.
But Rick Ross's book, Never Split the Difference, crazy.
Yeah,
learning what you do well. Because you speak well doesn't mean you can negotiate well. Because you negotiate well doesn't mean you can deliver well. So LeBron doesn't negotiate his own contracts. If you had a $10 million deal for LeBron, you can't even talk to him. You got to talk to Rich Paul.
Yeah.
LeBron will hear about it after Rich hear about it. If Rich thinks it's a good idea. I got $50 million for LeBron. Let's go see Rich.
Right.
So you hire negotiators.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be you can't micromanage your way to the top. You only micromanage your way to the bottom.
Man. I love it, man. Love it. Love it. Thank you, brother, man, for coming on, man. You helped me out a whole.
You got my number, man. Just holler at me, man.
Hey, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I gotta sit down with you. But man, thank you again, man. It's been a blessing, bro, to hear your story, man. Everything, all the game, man, it's remarkable, man. And so this podcast is gonna be heard on YouTube. Check us out, escapingtheodds.com, Spotify, iHeartRadio, man, you name it, we there. IG, Instagram, podcast, Facebook, Escaping the Odds, escapingtheodds.com. Let's continue to support Andre Norman, this movement throughout the country and internationally as well. Once again, brother, thank you, man, for coming through and chopping it up with me. Until next time, like we like to say here, unlocking freedom, man. Opportunities over penitentiaries, man.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, man, we'll be in touch, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
All right.
All right, peace.